Good morning. This is Reverend Pam Geagan from the Center for Spiritual Living Pleasant Valley in Camarillo, California. And I'm here with our Ascension meditations. And just for anybody who may be tuning in for the first time, Ascension means that there are dimensions that the sages throughout the ages have talked about. And if you can change dimensions into density, that may help you a little. And we are living in this third dimensional existence, mainly on this physical planet. But most of us are already using fourth and fifth dimensional vibrations, because the density means how high the vibration is. And so, what these meditations are truly all about is the heaven quake that's happening beyond all appearances that we can't help but notice, and it's shaking up all life and the consciousness of humanity. And so many of us feel separated from our divine source, but after the dust settles into one of wholeness, we will remember and know and be more awake and loving and interconnected at our deepest soul levels. And so that is all of this in this process is setting us free, as I say. So I think that all of us here that are listening to this and that have been incarnated in this lifetime, we had a deep calling to be involved in this shifting consciousness back to wholeness. We don't remember how or when, maybe, but I do know and I believe that the soul has been here since the beginning of time. It is incorruptible, immutable, and it comes from that one oversoul. We are an aspect, that divine light that we came to shine upon this planet and to recognize and come back to source. And so, again, we can't miss this acceleration process because we're experiencing it globally. We're experiencing it through climate change, uh, coronavirus, financial changes, and there are so many opportunities being laid before us for our spiritual, to build our spiritual muscle into this next wonderful dimensions that I feel are crashing into us, the fourth and fifth. So we have been called, I think, to be here, for lack of better terms, to be angels on earth or light workers. So as we've experienced deep inner changes and challenges on our own in our lifetimes already, and it did not tear us down, it built us up to this point. And so I think in these soul searching moments, that in these last few years, and this especially these last few months, I believe that we are closer to source as we have removed many of our old habits. By the way, next week I'll be talking about releasing our old 3D habits that no longer serve us on this planet Earth, and embracing the new ones. So, in this moment, what I like to do is I like to just open up to source right away and then relax in. And then I'll be just telling you a little bit more about our fourth and fifth dimensional experiences here and why we've chosen to show up here in this most amazing, empowering way, not only for ourselves, but for others. And to remember who we are. We are divine spirit. We are the light of the world. And without our light, the world gets a little darker every time. So our light is very, very important to us. So we're going to just first connect to source. And I call it God, which is synonymous with love to me. You can call it whatever you want, whether it's Buddha, Amen, top, whatever it is Jesus, Krishna, Buddha, it is the thing itself. And whatever makes you feel at one with it and comfortable and aware and awake and alert, then I totally support that. At the Centers for Spiritual Living, we say there is one source, and which I call that love, and to me, I've named that God, and so many paths to that source. And so we honor and embrace all of those teachings, because all of those teachings have made us all who we are today, whether we know it or not. So we're just going to start by just knowing that there is this light and all around us, surrounding us, beyond even our imagination. And sometimes you can even see it around yourself and others. And so as that light just grows, it grows exponentially. And so we connect with Source right now. We breathe in from that highest and high into the deepest of deep. We breathe in with God is, or whatever words you want. And on the out breath, I am. And now silently, to others. And so we give great thanks in all of this too, to know that we have been chosen to be here in this moment, to share our gifts, our talents, our ability to lift not only ourselves up, which is so important, but to lift the world up, as I say, our Mother Earth. And to be here is such a gift on this Earth planet that allows us, I think, a fast track back to remembering who we are, those divine beat creatures that we are, and that we have forgotten sometimes during the process of separation. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to now just relax you in. See that light coming down your crown chakra, hitting that third eye, coming down into the jaw, relaxing the throat, relaxing, going all the way up the back of the neck. Many of us in these times where we're using our computers more are experiencing neck and shoulder problems. So we're just going to relax in, listening to my voice, and feel that energy go down the neck, down the back, down the down the upper back, and then down the shoulders, relaxing the shoulders, and down from the upper arms to the elbows. Feel that energy surging through you from Source, down the lower arms, down the wrists, down the hands, out the fingertips. And then back up the arms, going right down the left back, vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae, just relaxing in, just relaxing all of the vertebrae, and then coming right back up between the shoulders, going around the front, relax and opening that heart chakra. And I always invite a guide or someone to come there uh, to be with me and to help me awaken to that which I need to know. So inviting a guide into that beautiful lotus, as I say, opening up. It's all right if no one or nothing shows up. Just relaxing in and opening up that heart, the mind, the intuition, the heart, the emotions all waking up at the same time. And then that energy going down into our solar plexus, our beautiful golden yellow solar plexus. And then opening up the beautiful sacral chakra. And going down and opening up the root chakra, relaxing the hips in and the thighs. Going down, this beautiful light. Relaxing in. You may even be feeling a little warm. Relaxing in. And then going down the knees, the calves, the ankles, down the feet and the toes, and going down, right down to that middle earth. That middle earth can look like whatever you want it to look like, but you're anchoring your light in that. Because we are living in this physical three-dimensional world. And yet we have one foot, as I say, in the heaven world and all the dimensions, and one foot in the physical and the first and the second and the third physical world. So we are all of it. We've just chosen to show up and help others make their awakening into the other dimensions and recognizing them and bringing out that information to all. So now we have that light come right back up and shoot right back up into that heaven world, to the east, to the west, to the north, to the south, expanding our awareness. And with your eyes closed, sometimes you can even see your body expanding, the light in your body expanding. Not only will you look like you're lighter, but the evidence of you expanding also. You can see it in your mind's eye, in that third eye, or that whole body experience. So I'm going to talk now just a little bit about the dimensions and the densities, knowing that they flow in and through and all each other. It is not like we go to this level and then the next level and the next level. No, they're all just absolutely, it's like the fog and the rain and the sun all coming out at once, and the earth and everything just all of a sudden enfolding us in higher energy. And I call that good and very good. Can't beat that, as I say. And so many of us, again, feel like we've been called here at this point in time. And it doesn't matter what your gifts are, it is a process that we're going through. And it's the ascension, I call it the ascension process, to assure you that you're not alone in what you're experiencing. That is why I am revealing and also sharing these ascension encouraging thoughts. Many of us are struggling with uncertainty about our roles, what we should be doing during this ascension process. So I support you in knowing that whatever it is you're experiencing in these intense shifting times, including the joys and the loss and confusion, I celebrate you for the joys and experiences that you're going through, because in this oneness, whatever you're going through, I am feeling and going through too. And again, as you ride these waves, keep track of where you've been and where you're headed, and how you're awakening and realizing that you are growing more rapidly than ever before. So as you move forward into these unfamiliar territories of consciousness, remember you have always had an inner beacon of light that's just the way shower and birthing you into, right there with you, birthing you into a new high vibrational consciousness. We are in a higher vibration. Those vibrations of those dimensions are crossing right into one another. And we are becoming highly evolved versions of ourselves in this most amazing, significant time. And so, again, I want to reiterate that the dimensions are not layered. They are like a spiral, like everything in life. The one defining thing in all life, in all DNA, in all nature, in all of our bodies, including our eye prints, our fingerprints, is that spiral. And that fingerprint of God, of which you are, nobody has the same fingerprint you have. Twins, quadruplets, they all have significantly different fingerprints. And so there is no one fingerprint that is universal at all in this. And so in this quantum field that we're on, that I call source, and you can call it Atman, Brahman, God, the quantum field, as I say, the I am presence, whatever it is, we have been focused mainly in our lifetimes in this third dimension. And so, in this third dimension, as we're moving out of it, all life looks different. In a normal waking experience, we used to only see what we see now in our waking experiences in our dream world. But we see the energy around things. When we feel the energy too, we are attracted to people's energy and more aware of it than ever before. And so the dimensions, the first dimension is the first level of consciousness, and everything in that first dimension comes from that one point, the one connected where we're all together and there's no separation. There is no individual identity of personality. There is no time, past, present, and future in that one point. And so that first dimension has many of the same features as our highest dimensions. And the first dimension resonates with the water and the mineral kingdom and the human DNA and the genetic codes, mainly associated with our root chakra, the earth element. And that first dimension is what we know now anthropologically lasted about 5,000 years, and it was a community and it was a culture primarily focused on survival, safety, and relying on community. And I do believe in reincarnation. Many people do, some people don't. But many of the sages have said that the soul passes through many lifetimes before it reaches this third dimension. Some I've heard as much as 100,000 lifetimes from one source before it has the opportunity to evolve into a higher awakening. And some say that souls shift back and forth from dimensions. There's no hierarchy within the dimensions, with all the dimensions. They are all of equal value. Some believe that crystals are an example of a seemingly first dimensional object. Although it's a rock, it has such strong fourth, fifth, and even higher dimensional intelligence and energy, which many sensitive humans are able to tap into. The second dimension, and again, this is not so delineated, the second dimension introduces a second point. And again, all of these dimensions are so valuable. In the second dimension, we're aware of duality or polarity. You have now and now, me and not me. You notice that you have a body. And so in terms of a third dimension, if there was a clear delineation, you would see that that second dimension is like the plant kingdom and the lower animal kingdom. And those are the living things that live only in the present moment. But from the second and fourth dimension perspectives, we know that plants are very spiritually powerful. And we know they're enlightened beings. We know they respond to us as the water responds to our energy. So we can communicate not only with the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom and the water and everything else. We know that our energy is very important in keeping its highest vibration, its cleanliness, its health and oneness in us. And the second dimension is connected with the sacral chakra, that water element. And we know that around 5,000 before Christ, approximately, there was a shift in focus. And there was a not only more farming and agricultural came about, but also a nurturing and growing and the birth of civilizations came about. So now in the third dimension, which I always say we have one foot in the third dimension and other in all the dimensions, a space-time element was introduced, and subsequently cause and effect, karma was introduced. And we became into waking consciousness, where we saw everything is separate. We don't see the energy around a table and ourselves. And because the laws in play of the third dimension, there's very little awareness sometimes of the connection of the oneness of things and the actions and events. But we now know there is no way we cannot be aware that because of this virus and so many other things, that we are in this web of life, and whatever we do to one thing, we do to all. And our actions and events do change this planet. So in this third dimension, we came to learn non-duality. Past, present, and future as seen as separate, all of a sudden creating the experience of linear time. This allows for comparisons, judgments, which leads to desires, goals, hopes, worries, and fears, and creates joy, happiness, anxiety. Some say this third dimension is our Earth is the most inflexible of all of them. And what that means is that Earth is a very special place in the universe, and beings who have experienced our Earth are among the most spiritually respected in all of the dimensions. Because being born in this third dimensional earthly plane provides us with so many opportunities for personal and spiritual learning, knowledge, and advancement. And according to a lot of the sages and a lot of the spiritually enlightened, there is a long line of beings, of souls, waiting for the opportunity to have this earthly incarnation. So I say, open up and use it wisely. But in this moment, when we're born into this third dimensional world, again, it's that duality of we are here to figure out oneself. And yet we sometimes lose sight of and knowing that we are part of many dimensions. I believe there's other parallel dense planets that are like Earth. But this one is the one that is the densest, where we have speaking and written words and languages in comparison to telepathy. And I say the internet is the interloper, because in the quiet is when we connect with others. We know instantly that we need to connect with others, or they'll be connecting with us. And I think before all the noise even came into the planet, we were the internet. And I believe that we have that ability in this, coming from this Bronze Age into this fourth dimension in the law of one, of learning awareness and connecting. And one of the greatest lessons we are here to learn in this third dimension is unconditional love for oneself and all others. Other lessons are that every event is synchronized and there is a positive learning opportunity, and that the present is all that ever truly exists. And so the fourth dimension is the realm of the lower level of thought forms. It is a place where we can create flexible realities, but still have a sense of physicality, time, and individualized ego, especially in the lower levels, space time. So we'll be going into the fourth and fifth dimensions more next week, and also releasing third dimensional habits that no longer serve us. As we move in this, we're being catapulted in this rapid ascension process, and how we learn how to just go with the flow, just like the Tao and just like the water. We go with the flow into that higher level of thought form, of the highest ideals. So I support you, and I support all of those realms of desire that are leading us into that unity consciousness of non-duality and embracing all life and all existence and all of the dimensions as they come crashing together to awaken to this world that works for everyone. So I'm going to end with just a couple affirmations. I am flexible in my mind, body, and thinking, and I am so excited, not afraid. I release any fear. And open up to this new flexibility of thinking and being on this planet. I am grateful. I am now awakened and aware that I have chosen to be here. And so if I've chosen to be here, it is time to take my head out of the sand, open up to seeing the oneness, releasing the diversity of any kind, embracing it all, because it's all here. It's like that banquet that is being laid before me, and I indulge in every great, wonderful offering that life brings me on this eternal path of becoming. And so I call this good and very good. I call this day good and very good. And I say, have a blessed rest of your day, rest of your weekend. See you Sunday on our program. And namaste, peace out. I love each and every one of you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'll see you Sunday and next week. Mwah! And so it is.